guys, it's Andre with Frontline Alternative and Planet TRT and HGA Support, and I'm here with
John Navarre.
John Navarre is going to give us a little bit of history background on him. I know that he's a veteran. I'm really big on supporting my local talent in the Texas area. If it's within driving distance, I'm all about going to visit people and seeing what we can do to help them, and also finding people with information, because it's all about content for the group, so that maybe we can reach somebody that's struggling and doesn't know exactly where to begin or how to start, or how to get away from where they're at. So I'm going to let John give us a little bit of history on himself so we can get this ball rolling.
So I'm a veteran of the Army Explosive Ordnance Disposal Bomb Squad.
Playing with toys.
Yep. Did that for 5 years and absolutely loved it. Actually planned on staying in, but due to family issues, I ended up taking full custody of my kids as a single father.
Yes. Talk about that. Not about the whole thing, but just tell them about we're not going into details about
we won't get into the details of it.
You may know his wife. Sorry, just kidding.
Hey, it's possible.
Yes,
it's possible. My son looks like the man there.
I tell my wife the same thing. I was like, how do you get blonde hair and blue eyes?
Infidelity in the military is a big thing. It happens all the time, and unfortunately, I was a victim of that. And because of it, I ended up divorcing my first wife, taking custody of my two kids who were 3 and 4 at the time.
Yeah. And you made the choice to take them, right?
I made the choice to take them.
That's a good man.
I sort of did. It wasn't really a choice. I said I am going to take them.
She didn't have a choice.
She didn't have a choice.
Good.
So I took the kids and moved in with my parents. Started over.
That's right.
Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of job opportunities in Corpus Christi for explosive ordnance disposal, unless you go local PD and do bomb squad. At the time, the PD had just passed new regulations that you could have no visible tattoos. Oh. So I'd be wearing long sleeves and gloves.
And gloves, yeah, rubber gloves.
In Corpus Christi, Texas, which is not really an option.
No.
Unless you just want to die.
Sweat right out of them. Yeah.
So I went into welding at that point and did a lot of custom fabrication. Did that for about 6 or 7 years. Ran a shop for a buddy of mine, one of my best friends. Decided to move on from there and ended up in the private security industry, private military contracting.
Did that bring on a lot of stress too?
Yeah, it
can bullets flying at you. I'll be like,
it can be
curious.
It can be extremely stressful. And it varies. Some gigs are super lax and super chill, and the greeter at Walmart can do them, and then some of them you don't want to be with guys unless you know that they're solid operators.
Yeah.
So did that for a while. Being gone away from home is kind of rough.
Dude, Gerald Martin's would probably sponsor you too. How do you even think about it? We'll talk about nautical. Yeah.
So did that for a while. Was gonna make that my primary gig. Being gone from the family all the time was rough, especially with my current wife, who I married in 2014.
Who's hot, right?
She's super hot.
Okay, just want to check.
Smoking hot wife, by the way. Married way out of my league.
Me too. I always ask my wife, hey, can you see? I just want to take you to the optometrist, but I'm afraid that she'll leave.
I love walking in places with her because she'll be all dressed to the nines, and I walk in with my t-shirt,
really shorts. Yeah.
Everybody looks at me like, yeah, that guy's got a lot of money.
Or a big wiener.
Or something else. Little they know I don't have either. So I spend so much time in the gym.
That's where TRT comes in place.
So
it's not the size of the boat; it's emotion in the ocean.
Mom's gonna kill me for this.
Honey, forgive me.
So my wife was therefore effectively raising my teenage children.
Oh yeah.
So
by yourself, yeah.
By herself,
but they weren't hers.
But they weren't hers.
Well, they were because she volunteered. Yeah.
Correct, but it's tough when they're not biologically yours.
No, because mom can't. That's not my mom. Yeah, I get it.
So my cousin started a home building business after the hurricane.
What's the name of the business?
Underway Construction.
Okay. And what kind of houses they build?
We build big custom homes.
Okay. He's gonna have to give me some money for this pump. Just kidding.
We build large custom homes. In fact, we've become the primary custom home builder in Port Ranch.
Awesome. So you made a lot of money after the hurricane, or he did?
He's made a decent amount of money. He's been real fair about things, though.
Good. He didn't take away from the community.
He's not a builder by trade. He was a
builder by trade. By being forced into.
Yeah, he was a commodities broker, and he got tired of sitting on a desk. And his second home that he had in Puerto Rico, so he decided to remodel it himself, and it turned into a thriving business.
That's freaking awesome. Those are stories about coming from below and coming up. Even if he was probably already had plenty of money, but just coming, just switching gears and rising from the flames.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was doing a little bit of part-time work for him while I was not on deployments, and he set me down one day and said, "Hey man, I really want you on full-time." And of course,
So you went from a TIG welder to a carpenter.
TIG welder to a carpenter, yeah.
You can make all these changes and be successful at them at any age in your life.
At any point in time, you can do whatever you want.
You just switch gears and say, "I'm gonna do it." And if you have the mindset that I'm gonna do it, you're gonna do it, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So don't ever let anybody tell you, "No, you can't do it."
So I switched over to that. Now I do that full time. I'm his project manager. I'm his third in command. I run a small crew of guys, and then we work with lots of subcontractors. I do that, and then I'll still do the occasional.
So you still have operators that just operate nail guns.
Yeah, nail guns. Everybody wishes they were an operator, though.
Yeah, they probably walk around the house going, "Clear."
Oh, you always got to check it twice.
Check it, do fingers crossed.
But so I'll still do the occasional security contract. I'll likely be going out to help train up some Navy EOD guys here next month.
Yeah. So you were good at what you did for them to call you and say, "Hey, why don't you train these people?"
I was a terrible soldier.
But
my uniform was always all jacked up. My PT was crap, but I was really good at
what you did. Yeah.
Which, if you're really good at disarming bombs, then I don't care what you do.
Because if you blow up, it doesn't matter what you look like when you got blown up.
No, not at all. Yeah. Every EOD take what's got to take this. So I'll still do.
That's not the same as the pink slime from McDonald's, right? It can be. I guess
it could be.
It really could be.
So I'll still do that occasionally, and now I also about a year ago I got my personal training certification through NASA.
Oh, cool.
The plan was
you got the look to be a personal trainer. I don't have the look to be a personal trainer. We always talk about tacos. So I'm going to say that he would probably fire me because I wouldn't follow the meal plan. But we'll talk about that later.
It all depends. The original plan was actually for my wife to continue to work and me to be a stay-at-home dad. We did IVF. We did full IVF to have a little girl, which we successally had. We've got a 3.5-month-old now.
Yeah.
The original plan is for me to be a stay-at-home dad and for her to keep working. So that because her work offers insurance. So I said, okay, well, let me get my NASA certification. I'll train some clients on the side, and then with my VA disability, we'll be able to get by.
Hey, what's your Instagram hashtag or whatever?
My Instagram hashtag is Stay Fit to Fight.
Fit to Fight. Don't forget.
Stay _fit_ fight.
Yes, got it. Kind of like planet _TRT _ support. And it was long because somebody else, I guess, had the other one.
Yeah, somebody else had something similar to mine that they couldn't actually find.
Yeah, and don't forget Swole Milk. That's how you'll find me on Instagram.
Yeah, so Stay Fit to Fight is my Instagram. I'll post tips on training at times. I'll post my progress. I just actually started. Just hit my first day of my 12 weeks of prep for my first.
What show are you doing?
I'm doing. What is it? It's in Waco.
We'll hit it up. We'll post the link or whatever.
I'm doing an NPC show in Waco.
Okay.
On December 19th, and I'll be.
Oh, dude, I'll be in. I can't go to that. I'll be in for the Olympia. Sorry, I have a bigger show.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, Andre Russian told me that it was a good place for me to go, so I think I'll go take his advice.
So I'll be competing in men's physique, true novice, and open class. Much to the hating of friends of my friend Christian Segura and John Aranda are really pressing me, trying to get me to go just full body build.
Yeah.
But my wife's grandmother really wants to come watch the show, and she said she won't do it if I'm
wearing thongs. Got it. Mike, yeah, let's do trunks. You'll be in better shape.
So I'll rock trunks, and my nanny can come watch.
Yes.
And to be honest, I don't think I want my nanny to see me in a thong.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want my wife to see me in a thong.
I don't know.
She might want me to wear them around the house.
Regularly.
Yeah.
And
then I get mine mixed up with hers.
And it gets bad.
It gets awkward. I walk out in a pink one instead of the black one.
And they kind of fit differently. They don't have a pouch. It's kind of everything's hanging off to the side. I haven't tried. Don't we?
So I'll compete.
My wife's upstairs, so she may hear all this.
But so that was the original plan, was for me to become a personal trainer, and my income be based off personal training and my VA disability. Then about 6 months in, she decided that she wants to be a stay-at-home mom. Well, she's so much better with kids than I am.
Oh gosh.
So she's
every baby doesn't want their daddy; they want their mommy.
She's got a bachelor's degree in early childhood development.
Well,
She's
hello.
a registered nurse. She nannied for twins and triplets.
She needed the job before.
She needed it more.
She was more qualified.
She was way more. I'm so unqualified. Like I'll keep the baby from blowing up. But I don't know what to do otherwise.
Diapers are different than moms.
So at that point, it occurred to me that I didn't really need to use my certification to make money.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I did it, because there's a lot of things.
You understand.
There's a lot of things when it comes to fitness that you think you know.
I learned it from Kong.
Until you learn the science behind it,
Oh,
you
yeah.
realize you didn't know anything at all.
He says, I don't want you jerking that shit. Oh, pardon me. He doesn't want me jerking it. He wants me doing full motions. He wants a full stretch. He says that he doesn't trust me when I'm working out by myself, because he knows the last 3 reps are going to be crap. And then he won't let me bounce or get in the rhythm like I normally do. And I'm whoa, you know. And he says, you're cheating. You're not. You're just a pendulum.
Yeah, it's amazing how much bro science there is out there.
Well, I just didn't even go by bro science. I was just always doing ego lifts. You know, it's like I can lift it, so why can't I swing it? You know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what where we get into that whole thing where it's form and all that's important.
So now I use it. I now use my certification for a couple different things. To further my training myself.
Yeah.
For me, I help every single one of my friends that ask without, and I don't charge anybody.
Yeah.
I also offer free personal training, whether it be in person, at my house, at their house, at the gym, or if they don't live here, I'll do it online for veterans of PTSD.
Veterans of PTSD.
I'm big on supporting veterans of PTSD, obviously.
Yes.
I know what it's like to be a veteran with PTSD.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I suffer from it too badly, but I've got friends that do.
Some of them are worse than others. We kind of talked,
Yeah.
a little bit about that.
So I offer free for them. I offer free for current law enforcement and first responders.
Awesome.
I kind of a big pet peeve of mine is out of shape police officers.
Too many donuts.
Sorry, I don't want to.
Dude, you're gonna hate me.
I hate to step on any toes,
Hey.
but if your job is to protect the life of me and my family, you need to be in better shape.
You need to
than
be
the bad guy.
Well, you know,
Which is why I offer it for free.
Well, the funny thing is, as you say that, is I local PD over in Bulverde, Texas. I put my credit card down over there and said that any of the PD firemen, first responders, can have tacos on front line. I said it's better than donuts, but it probably wasn't.
It's probably not better than donuts.
No.
Actually. In fact, did you know at Shipley's Donuts, the kolaches are worse for you than the donuts are.
Oh my goodness!
Just a little quick grease tip there.
Yeah.
So I offer free to them, and then I've also in the past offered, and I'm surprised I didn't get taken up on it, but I put the offer out there, and it still stands. That if you don't currently go to church, and you come to a service with me at Church Unlimited, I'll train you for a free session.
Sounds great to me.
So that's what I use my training certificates for now.
Let's talk a little bit about what your PTSD has done for you and what kind of issues it's caused throughout your life. And then some of the, let's talk about PTSD first, and we're going to have to make it kind of short because we don't want to make the video too long to where we lose traction. There's really important topics here, and the big topics coming, along with PTSD. And we'll go ahead and let them talk about that.
So one of the things with PTSD and just being,
you gotta be kidding. 12 minutes in, and it's still neat. But it's
got
still running.
20%.
That's great. We got
one of the big things with PTSD and being deployed in general and being in a high stress environment is that this is science based. This is science. These are facts. Being deployed, being in a high stress situation, ending up with PTSD, they all raise your cortisol levels.
Oh, definitely.
And which is normal. You get a fight or flight instinct when your life is in danger. You end up with a fight or flight instinct. Your cortisol levels go up, which is fine on a short-term basis.
But not all the time.
When you do that over a long period of time, a lot of deployments are, most deployments are 6 months to a year. Some guys get extended; they can be there for 18 months.
Yep.
When you spend 6 months to a year with your cortisol levels through the roof, when you come back, your testosterone takes a huge hit.
Well, but also, they're the Motrin that they give you also.
Oh God, 800 milligrams every time you stub your toe.
A bottle like this big.
Here, take these 6,800 milligrams.
Only take 4 at a time.
Yeah. So I thought until last year
they
that
were
that you were supposed to take 1,600 milligrams of Motrin every time.
Why is your liver function so messed up? I don't know why.
So those high stress environment, they're a huge cause for low testosterone. I didn't know that. I got buddies that didn't know that, and I couldn't figure out why I felt like crap all the time.
Yes. No energy. Didn't want to do anything after you got home from work. And not to get real explicit, but my wife used to run around half naked, and I would just push her to the side so I could watch TV.
Like I said, I have a smoking hot wife, and I'd have to convince myself to have sex, and I couldn't figure out what was going on.
And here's the other thing that happens whenever you deny your wife because you're tired or you're not sure if you're going to be able to perform or whatnot. It starts to affect them emotionally, so they start wondering, is he cheating on me? Am I ugly? Am I fat? You know, are we no longer in love? Because, you know, of course, you know, women associate sex with love, and they automatically go there and think that, you know, I'm no longer of a value to him because he doesn't want me.
Yeah, so I was exhibiting all the symptoms. I finally went and got checked, and I think my testosterone, my total testosterone was like a 348 or something.
Yeah.
Which, according to some doctors,
It's
is
not
normal.
that low. Yeah, you're right.
Normal range is 300 to 1,000.
Yep. Yep.
And I can tell you right now, if you go to your PCP and you score between 300 and 1,000, you're probably not going to get treated.
Yep.
Because they don't look at symptoms; they just look at numbers. They don't care what the symptoms are.
Oh, definitely. And then, you know, the one thing the PCP and any other, well, I'm not going to dog on PCP or any other doctor, they a lot of times won't check your free testosterone. Your free testosterone, you could have testosterone of 1,500, but if your free T is 1, you're going to feel like you still have low T. So
yeah, if your SHBG is up, then you don't have any free testosterone.
it's not converting it correctly. So that's another story.
So I finally went and got tested. It was low, and then I filled out the questionnaire, and it was a yes to all the questions that you don't want to be yes.
Yeah.
And so they
Do
put
you have
me on
sports
testosterone.
performance problems in dead?
Yeah, my gym. I used to love the gym. I hated going to the gym because I wasn't making any progress.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure it out. I was doing everything right. I was time under tension, you know, progressive overload. And I would research what can I do to fix this, and nothing I did was fixing anything. So my gym time fell off. My sex life fell off. My energy levels were zero. I didn't want to do anything on the weekends. So I finally got tested, and I got on testosterone at a reasonable dose, and everything changed. I was happy. My depression went away. My depression related to my PTSD went away. My anxiety related to PTSD.
So let's talk about also when you have PTSD, and you know, when you're in the military, it's whenever you get, you know, out of wherever you're deployed at, and you go get some relief. You know, of course, you know, we start drinking, and you know, and sometimes when we have underlying issues that, of course, that go along with cortisol, but also have it that built into our body to where we maybe enjoy things more than others and don't know when to stop. Right?
And that's the easiest way to fix. The easiest way that
Silence
most people think to fix
PTSD.
depression and PTSD is to just
Drink it away.
shove it down and drink it away. And I was
Smoke it away.
I was the poster child for that. I mean, I have no problem telling everybody in the world I'm an addict.
I'm an addict too.
I know I'm an addict.
Yep.
I'm a hardcore alcoholic. I
I
am
would
11
take-
months sober today.
Congratulations,
So-
that's freaking feat.
I'm really looking forward to that 1 year.
Definitely. I'll tell you where I'm at. I'm at 2607. That was my clean date, my sobriety date. I haven't had a drink, you know, since then. So
impressive.
you can do it too. I know you can.
Well, I mean, so when I got out of the military, I was drinking a 1.75 liter handle of whiskey every 2 days.
And did you pull the top off and pull the filter out? And
Oh,
toss
yeah,
it up?
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
So
Either one of those.
I was taught how to drink when you open a bottle of whiskey. You open the cap, you pull the popper out, the filter, whatever thing slowed the alcohol from going out, and you toss everything out the window.
It takes too long before drinking.
Yeah,
So-
and you can drink out of the bottle a whole lot
So
easier.
I was drinking almost 2 liters of whiskey. I was drinking almost a liter of whiskey a day.
Wow.
That's how I went to sleep.
You're a way worse drunk than I was.
Oh yeah, and that was when I was just drinking at night.
Oh wow.
Once I got to the point where in the evening wasn't enough, I would drink. I got onto those harder ciders. They're 8% alcohol, 24 ounces.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I would drink 10 of them throughout the day.
Whoa.
And then I would go home and try to lie
okay.
to my wife that I wasn't drinking.
I wasn't drinking.
I haven't had any drink. I had one with the
You're
guys.
kidding.
So then I finally my wife finally told me it wasn't going to work anymore.
That she was gonna leave you?
She was going to leave.
Yeah.
She was going to pack up and go. And I
should've taken kids
I
with
wouldn't have blamed her.
Yeah. Well, there's no way to live.
No, it's not. I feel horrible for for what she had to deal with for the many years that she had to deal with it.
And we're fortunate to have wives that will stand by us and then watch, you know, and then help us, you know, recover through it.
So I finally got clean and got my testosterone in check, got my hormones all balanced, got back to the gym and realized, I'm making progress again. I feel good. I have energy.
Yep.
I'm getting stronger. I'm getting bigger, and my addiction transferred itself over to the gym.
Definitely.
There's some people out there that'll say that making one thing your addiction instead of another is still bad. I 100% disagree.
Me too.
My addiction now keeps me healthier.
Well, and actually, you know, my counselors went, because I went to rehab. I made a choice to go to a rehab because I couldn't do it on my own. Every time that I tried, I just would fail. And you know, I would say that I was going to do it, and just never could ever get it right. You know, I knew that there was something wrong with me. There was not just an emotional hole that I needed to fill, but there was a chemistry hole that was blank. And a lot of times it is because it affects, you know, everything that you do, the way you live, the way you feel about yourself, your understanding of yourself, and then also the relationship you have with others. I had zero empathy for others. Like, I didn't, you know, care how they felt. You know, I could literally, like,
as long as I got to feel good, I didn't care.
Exactly. Like, I would, you know, my wife would, you know, could feel horrible and be crying. I'd be like, "What's your problem? Like, why are you so emotional? Blah blah blah."
Hold on. Tell me about it.
Yeah, one more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, she was fortunate to catch me after all that, but this was when I had undiagnosed like low T. You know, this was before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I had
for
never
sure.
been diagnosed. I think I had been clean for about 4 years or 5 years. No, 3 years. When I found out that I had low T, I had a one score of like a 250, and I asked myself, what skirt do I want to wear? So that's a question I ask all the guys when I look at their, you know, when somebody looks at their blood work, it tells me what their blood work looks like, because I can't really look at it.
Yeah.
And I you know, say, hey guy, you know, what color skirt are you ready for? What color heels do you want to wear? And they would be like, what the hell did you just say to me? And then they would figure out that I was, you know, Jack, and they'd be like, they'd start laughing, and then it broke the ice, and it opened the door to all kinds of real conversations about how it was really going on, and not just the little pieces because there's always, you know, there's a tip of the iceberg that we're willing to give people that we don't know. But then once that tip, you know, once we, I did say just the tip. We're going too far, okay?
We're not having more private meetings.
Yeah, we got, you know what? No, not you and I.
Okay.
My wife, we're going to talk, well, okay. So anyway, back to the whole thing, you know, actually finally, after I got dialed in, just feeling like this giant relief. Like, I felt like something was lifted from me. I didn't feel angry. I wasn't upset. I wasn't emotional. I didn't, you know, freak out over things. And, you know, I tell people all the time that I feel better now with my testosterone above, you know, 1500 than I ever felt with my testosterone in the 200s and my estradiol elevated.
I feel like you need to clarify. When we say we feel better,
not like a drug better.
It's not a drug better, and it's an emotional better.
It's clarity. It's focus.
Clarity. It's focus. It's
love.
Energy. It's a kind of energy that. It's the kind of energy you had when you were a 16-year-old.
Well, and then also
you feel better. You just feel good.
Yeah.
You don't feel
spun out. You don't feel like you're high or anything like that. But the big thing is that the empathy is restored, and then you actually start to feel again. You know, it's like and then, you know, the fine line that we've got to walk here is that sometimes we think that because we get emotional, we need to take a cup of anastrozole. So I have to remember that I can feel the spirit, you know, when the Lord, I gotta say the Lord, don't get mad at me, but when He speaks to me, I listen, and if it's really powerful, sometimes I may tear up, and I just got to remember that I don't have to take an anastrozole every time I tear up. So I have to know the only time that I take them is when I wake up in the morning and I feel like I got to go to a manicure, pedicure with my wife, or I'm watching Paw Patrol and I start to cry. That's when I take them.
I teared up a little bit. But I think there was something here.
I think so too. And they're spraying a lot of stuff in here to kill the COVID or whatever.
My wife and I are watching some movie.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta take it out. Oh, there was something in my. Yeah.
We get a cat.
Yeah. But did you? I mean, and your wife feels it, right? My wife knows when you're not at balanced out, right? So my wife will tell me. She'll be like, Andre, when was the last time you took an injection? Oh, I don't remember. So you're kind of being a butthole.
So my wife and I went through IVF last year. I've been fixed for 14 years. I got clipped like 14 years ago. My wife's had 8 different tumors removed from her between here and here.
Oh wow.
She's got a super rare form of cancer called pheochromocytoma,
I've heard of
which
it.
she's in complete remission of now. But she had so many surgeries that her tubes were blocked. So we had to do full IVF, and when we did, the doctors told me that I had to come off my TRT.
Yep. So we run into that every now and then, and what we do is we do it. We make an attempt, right? We start off with, you know, there's a protocol that we follow from the, you know, there's a medical document that we follow, and so we'll typically start off with, you know, a higher dose of HCG, and then try to, you know, my medical practitioners will try to run it for a certain amount of time. If we notice that there's no change, we've actually had 3 people that we've gotten pregnant. I got 3 people pregnant. My wife doesn't know about it, and it's really bad. She's gonna be really mad. So I do pride our clinic in, you know, we're not a fertility clinic, but we were fortunate enough to have that same success that people will pay. Not that we can do it for, you know. Anyway, the bottom line is that we listen, and the patients were able to conceive, and they're just ecstatic. And I asked them to name them after me, but like they're girls, and you know they never. Well, that's what I called my whole life, Andre A. Miller. So that's what everybody called me.
God, some people are so selfish.
They are, yeah. Well, the funny thing is that I love getting that call saying that that this is what we've experienced, and the whole thing, like like in the big scope of thing, it's not about money, it's not about fame, it's not about success. It's about helping people. I love making people just enjoy life again.
Yeah, same sort of concept with my training.
Yeah.
I like seeing people get healthy.
Yeah, and you love to see, well, like Kong that I work with, he I do plug for him every now and then. He saw me and he's like, I just see this giant mass of muscle and I want to sculpt it. And he's like, so all you're doing is heavy lifting, right? You don't do a power move and then a stretch move. And I was like, no. And he's like, well, what do your reps look like? And I'm like, I don't know, 3 sets of 4. As heavy as I could lift. And I always said, if I can't have a bodybuilding body, I'm gonna have a powerlifting body because I could be okay because they eat whatever they want.
Yeah. There's a lot of times I wish I was a powerlifter instead of a bodybuilder.
Oh man.
Like I said,
it's
right
such
now
a good life.
I just started my 12 weeks of prep for this show. And just even today, like having to cut down to 2,600 calories, I've been starving all day long. But I did like throw myself a party on Sunday on my last day. I had a whole pizza and I had my whole own order of Ascended Bites and I had 4 bowls of cereal.
The box.
Yeah.
That's what happens when if you ever had experienced Somarillo, GHRP1, GHRP6, GHRP2. My first experience was I felt like Venom from the movie because I went to bed and I woke up in this puddle of sweat and I literally tore down the kitchen eating whatever carbs were in the kitchen. It's because it crashed my insulin levels, and that's why I would rather prefer true growth hormone.
Well, and you were discussing about my wife noticing the difference. So when we had to do IVF, the doctor straight up told me, we're going to get this right. We're going to get it right the first time. Mm-hmm. You guys have a very limited timetable to do this in.
Because your age.
We're taking completely off testosterone. We're putting you on high doses of Clomid and Mastazole and HCG. Mm-hmm. And he didn't sugarcoat it. He looked at me and said,
"You're on testosterone.
You're going to look like shit,
and you're going to feel like shit
until you have sperm. You're going to hate every second of it."
Yeah.
And I did.
But now
I turned into a mushy pile of crap.
Are you talking about me again?
And my parents, my dad's a doctor, and him and my wife were talking. He said, "Yeah, but isn't it nice to have him off of it?" And she goes, "Absolutely not. He's moody.
He's a giant weird.
He's a dick." Like, I wasn't a nice person to be around when I was off my testosterone.
Ooh.
I'm a nice guy when I'm on my testosterone.
Oh, me too.
Roid rage is not real.
No, it's estrogen rage.
I take it back. Roid rage is real if you're using stuff like trinabolone.
Yep, and if you're using large amounts of testosterone.
If you're using huge amounts, if you're shooting a gram of testosterone, you're probably going to be
and if you're a butthole, you're just going to be a bigger butthole.
That is the thing. That is.
So if you're a douche, testosterone is probably not your jam.
No, probably not. But for 99% of the people out there that are semi-level headed, it's low testosterone that causes problems.
Yeah.
Not high testosterone.
Oh, definitely.
So she was stoked when they did the extraction for me, and they said, "Okay, we're good. We've got good sperm." And the doctor said, "All right, so when you?" I said, "No, not when do I want to come back? Write my script right now."
I'm taking him with me. Hey guys, I hate to cut it short. I'd love to do another segment with him and talk a little bit more about like where he's at. We definitely want to meet with him and when he gets his 2-year chip, and maybe I'll come down and
have a beer.
Yeah, that's what got us here.
I love the Heineken 0.0.
Oh, do you? Don't do it.
Oh, they're better.
Oh no. Oh, you got the wrong sponsor. He said he could let you drink that beer.
Oh, no, sponsor.
Oh, well, you need one. I'll do one. Anyway, Andre Miller with Planet TRT and HGH Support. We appreciate you listening and watching. Please like, subscribe, whatever it is. I don't know this. I'm not good with this. Scott Reinhardt would tell you, Andre, you're doing it all wrong. And I probably am, and I'll maybe learn it. And one day I'll listen, but it's gonna take a while.
We'll get our kids to do it for us.
Dude, that's right. I got a 19-year-old, but he doesn't play on Facebook anyway. Thanks a lot. Y'all have a good day.